Hi, welcome to this video. I've been feeling really inspired by the community who have all these incredible journals and Notion spreads. So I decided to start off 2023 by learning more about Notion and so that I could better utilize its functions and capabilities. Take what I learned and I've created this little studies dashboard here. So before I get into it, I just want to talk a little bit about what I wanted to achieve with this studies dashboard. So first of all, I wanted an area which would show me the tasks to focus on for a certain time period. And I didn't want to impose hard deadlines on myself since this isn't exactly like a very strict academic kind of studies dashboard. It's just for my own interests. Second of all, I wanted the dashboard to be flexible and be able to evolve over time. So what I mean by that is have the ability to easily add or change my goals from time to time, be able to rearrange the time period which I would be working on certain tasks in case my priorities change, stuff like that. And third, I wanted to be able to utilize Notion's database functions so that I can streamline the way I interact with the dashboard and reduce manual work basically. And just so I can feel good about learning something and putting it to use. And with all of the above being said, I wanted a relatively simple layout. So ideally it would just be a one-pager kind of deal. So this setup literally took me less than one full day to make, and that includes learning about relations and roll-ups. And I can't say that I'm completely new to Notion, although up until before this point, I pretty much haven't done anything other than type in text, add images, and create backlinks to some of my other pages. So that's just a little bit about my background. Anyways, let me show you what I came up with and walk you through the different components. The dashboard is divided into a top area and a bottom area. So the top area is what I'll be using on a more day-to-day basis. On the left here in this yellow box, this is my focus area for the month, basically my go-to spot. The tasks that I want to be working on will be shown here, and they are organized by goal. And when the next month comes, I just need to change the filter month like this, and these tasks will automatically be updated to reflect that. So I'm just going to go ahead and change it back to January, and I think I accidentally added a new row, so I'm just going to delete that. Okay. And when I say goals and tasks, you can think of the goal as a project and the tasks as the broken down components and activities for the project. Anyways, as I complete my tasks, I can just check off the item like that, and you can see that the progress on the right hand side here has automatically been updated. So I might as well move on to the status overview section over here. This area is meant to be an easy way for me to have a big picture view of my progress across all of my goals. And I intentionally only chose a few goals here, and these are what I call my VIPs or my main goals. I do have more projects or goals queued up that you will see later on in the bottom section. But I didn't want to overwhelm myself for now at least. And if things go well and I have the capacity to work on more goals, then this area will reflect the updated goals. So that's it for the top part. Let's move on to the bottom section. The bottom section is where all the data sits. There are two parts to this. First is the overall studies board here. So when I have a new goal I want to include in my studies list, this is where I type it in. I have a checkbox over here to indicate whether a goal is a VIP or not. And then I put a label to my goals, just to group them into different goal areas. So things like learning the Ogham alphabet here would be considered to be divination related. And for example, down here, learning about the Tree of Life, that's related to magical knowledge. So let's say in the future I put a goal related to learning the different houses and planets in astrology, let's say, then I would probably put an astrology label over here. And this is just to be able to view things according to goal areas, which you'll see later on. So beside the goal area label here is the list of all the tasks related to the respective goals. And these get automatically updated based on another table below, which I'll show in a bit. And beside these tasks, I have a resources column, and it's just a way for me to keep track of all the different useful links or names of books that I will be making use of for the respective goals. And finally, let me just scroll over a little bit more here. These last two columns are the status and progress bar, and they're just two simple indicators to see where things are at. And these are used to populate the status overview section up above there that we saw earlier on. So for the overall studies board, I have a few different views, and the first one is what I call the full view, which is what I've been showing you over here. Sorry, just gonna scroll back a bit. Yeah, okay. And this is everything. So VIPs, non-VIPs, basically any goal that I want to achieve, whether now or down the line, it will be here. But as you can imagine, this table can grow pretty big easily. So I have this other view, what I call the working view, and this displays only my VIP goals, the stuff that I'll be working on right now. So this is sort of like my syllabus for the year, whereas the stuff in the yellow box, which we saw earlier, is like my homework and readings for the month. And the last part down here is a task list. So here is where I control the task setup. And for any given goal, I will write down all the related tasks in this task list section and assign it to their respective goals, and also assign it to the month which I want to be working on the task. So if I need to modify and add new tasks, here's where I do it. And the task list is inside a toggle list, as you can see, because this list can, again, get really long very easily. And because it's not something that I need to work with very frequently, I don't expect to be changing things around that much over here. So I will just toggle or expand the list only when I need to update something, and then just hide it away when I'm done with it. Typically, if I complete a task, I just need to do it in the yellow focus box at the top, and it gets automatically updated in this table down here anyways. So everything is synced across the board. I just realized that I forgot to show you the last view in my overall studies board, and that is the view by goal area over here. And this is just another way to look at the data essentially, and instead it's grouped by different goal areas. So, sometimes it's just nice to be able to view things in another way. So I just have this handy just in case. So yeah, that is my Witchy Studies dashboard. I hope that this was interesting or useful, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions about my setup at all. So I will see you again soon. Bye for now.